WHAS 11 Weather First.
Good evening. We are taking a live look over Paducah as the snow is falling tonight. Right now, that snow is heading our way. How much of that snow will stick in the city and when can we expect it? All we know for certain is that it obviously will be cold. Thanks so much for joining us here at 6:30. I'm Alex Dieterer. Meteorologist Colleen Peterson has been tracking the rapidly changing forecast. Colleen, we're going to be seeing some places dip down into the single digits tonight, but with that wind chill, it's going to be even colder.
It's going to feel like -5 degrees tomorrow. So we're actually already seeing the biggest impact, which are those temperatures, but we are tracking a swath of snow encompassing Arkansas, really starting to pick up in Nashville, areas in Paducah and western Kentucky. Looking at our radar right now, we're starting to see the first of the snow showers, but notice that the majority of it is farther off south. So the biggest impacts will be felt south of E-Town down to Campbellsville and Columbia. Right now at 6:31 p.m. we're seeing a light snow shower over Hardinsburg, Litchfield, some flurries, a nice snow shower parked over 65 through Munfordville. Here in Jefferson County, it's pretty quiet. We're not under a winter weather advisory here in Jefferson County. This will stay into effect Tuesday morning from Bardstown down to Columbia. Areas off farther south of Adair County are actually under a winter storm warning where they could see more than just a few inches of snow. So this is breaking down our impacts. We're going to have minor to low impacts here slicing right through Jefferson County, especially into Indiana, where we could see the slickest spots on the roads and maybe 1 to 3 inches as areas farther south of E-Town down to Tennessee. Our biggest impact is definitely going to be the temperatures. This is what it feels like right now, 2 degrees here in Louisville. -4 is what it feels like in Paoli, 1 degrees in E-Town. It's been a very frigid forecast and it's going to stay that way through Wednesday. So dangerous cold temperatures in that forecast for the next 72 hours as well as impacts from snow. I'll show you those snow accumulation totals here coming up shortly. Alex?
Thanks, Colleen. And the below freezing temperatures are also a solemn reminder about how dangerous it can be to be outside for too long, especially for people who are unhoused. To combat these dangerous conditions for homeless people, Operation White Flag goes into effect when the temperature or wind chill is below 35 degrees. Wayside Christian Mission in Louisville has waved its white flag all weekend, taking in over 100 extra people in these frigid temperatures. For Wayside, when Operation White Flag is in effect, the facility turns communal spaces like the dining hall and TV rooms into sleeping spaces so they can take in more people than usual. Today, Wayside also handed out coats, hats, scarves, and hats to unhoused people to try and keep them safe and warm. Wayside Chief Operations Officer Nina Mosley just hopes everyone will find warm shelter in these weather conditions.
We want people to come inside. This is life-threatening. People can freeze to death. They can have frostbite. They can lose their fingers and toes. This is terrible weather to be staying outside and living outside on the street. So it's our hope that they would all come in.
We have a list of all Operation White Flag shelters in our area on our website, WHAS11.com. And a person is dead following a fire in the California neighborhood this morning. Louisville Fire responded around 10 this morning to a home on West Kentucky Street just off South 16th Street. Fire officials say the fire was in the basement and first floor of the house. It took 30 firefighters around half an hour to gain control of the fire. Fire officials say when they first arrived, they searched the home and found nothing. But after they were able to gain control of the fire, they did find one person had died. Arson officials are investigating the cause. LMPD is investigating after a fatal crash on Taylorsville Lake Road near Hunt Country Lane. Police say officers responded to the crash at around 10:30 last night. Officers say a car was traveling north on Taylorsville Road and then swerved into oncoming traffic. That hit a car driven northbound by 40-year-old Arendita Lane head-on. Both Lane and the driver of the other car were transported to the hospital, where Lane did die of her injuries. Police say a child was also in Lane's car, who was also taken to the hospital. Happening right now, Keepers of the Dream, a community art celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s vision. The Freedom Award is being given out to Louisvillians who exemplify the ideals of Dr. King while reflecting on past struggles that have brought us to where we are today. WHAS 11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Aspen Hester are at the Kentucky Center with a look into how this event means so much to Black Louisvillians.
On the eve of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Louisville is gathered together inside the Kentucky Center for Performing Arts to celebrate Dr. King's vision.
You know, I've been trying to follow all the progress that we have made because of his effort and the efforts of others.
A vision that has taken the shape of progress over the years, and a dream that lives on for many Black Louisvillians.
We still have a lot of work to do as far as fighting prejudice and discrimination. So as we progress, we can get better as we go along.
Including Linda and Ron Jacobs, who remember watching on as the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s gained momentum.
Well, I've admired Martin Luther King since I was a young kid. You know, I actually remember starting to watch him back in the 50s.
And watching them talk about Black people and having the freedom, the equalization of everybody else.
They're here celebrating their granddaughter on her birthday as she performs during an event meant to celebrate Black joy and Black excellence. Her father, Terrence Jacobs, says he couldn't be more proud.
We know there's problems in the world, but from MLK, he started the work to get everyone together, and we celebrate that because every year, even with the problems, it's still getting better. No one can say it's just like it was 50 years ago.
Preparing for a day to celebrate the movement of the past that got us here and the road to progress in the future. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS 11, on your side.
We'll have more on the celebration and the recipients of the Freedom Award tonight on the Night Team.